Their work at the 8th TVET International Conference are expected to be awarded as the conference came to a close today. Now, the closing ceremony is presided over by Principal Secretary in charge of TVET, Dr. TVET Desai, who will also see the launch of an Innovation Hubs project by the International Development Research Center. The Innovations Hubs are expected to support innovators with seed money for commercialization of their projects. We now want to cross over live there and follow this event that is being moderated by our very own Akisa Wandera.
Which is Canadian Institutes and Colleges, Dennis Amiot, the Deputy President of SICAN, Alan Roy, the Univoc IHA Project Officer for Univoc, Stalima, all the Board of Governors who are here. I would like them to stand and wave for us. The Board of Governors of Rift Valley Technical, please. The chairman is here. He will introduce you later. Because of time, thank you very much, our chairman, Dr. Koech. The principals of TVET institutions, can we just stand up wherever you are, please? Yesterday we had several others who have gone. Today we have 3 more, and we really thank you so much for joining us. The universities that are here, we really appreciate you. The industry representatives, exhibitors, participants, guests, ladies and gentlemen. I do not have a speech to make today. I just want to thank you for participating. And I also want to ask the TVET Journal board members to stand up. This is their function, and I think it is important, with your permission, to just quickly introduce them. This is the reason why they're here. Behind is Dr. Chumba, here, just next to us here. Dr. Chumba is in Moi University. On my right is Professor Kitainge, Technology Education, University of Eldoret. In front of us is Engineer Professor Eric Ogur. Thank you so much. Technical University of Kenya. And of course, the Guru Professor of TVET, Professor Kere, who was with us yesterday in the panel. And of course, he's the chair of the Africa Journal of TVET board. And of course, the managing editor for the board, Agnes Rono. I am Dr. Edwin Tarno. I'm the founding editor of the African Journal of TVET. Ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, today we are privileged to have IDRC launching, in collaboration with SICAN, what you have seen as TVET Innovation Fund, supporting productivity and competitiveness in Kenya. So members, allow me to invite, thank you. Allow me to invite the president of SICAN, all the way from Canada, Dennis Amiot, to give us an overview of exactly what is expected of this fund that now will enhance our innovations in technical education in Africa. We are very privileged to be the institution that will actually disperse the funds on behalf of other technical colleges. So, welcome so much, madam, and you can give us a brief on what next. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Hanjambo. Nima fi rei kua na ngini leo. So, dear Principal Secretary Dr. Desai and Dr. Edwin Tamo, Thank you for hosting us. It is much appreciated to be able to be here in this special occasions. And I understand this is your 8th conference on TVET. Congratulations. And distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, all protocols observed. So today we are gathered here for an important announcement on research and innovation. But before I talked about it, I want to say it's my first time in Kenya, and I've been very, very impressed with your commitment to TVET. And I have heard it from everywhere, and when I've heard the numbers and heard about your facilities that are bursting at the seams, it's good sign. It's because there is an interest in TVET. And I always say to people in my team, it's TVET time. Yes. So today it gives me a great pleasure to be here with my colleagues of CICAN, which have been introduced, to announce that Colleges and Institutes Canada, CICAN, so easy to remember, CICAN, through a consortium with the Rift Valley Technical Training Institute, or VTTI, and linking industry with academia, LIWA, we will continue to support innovation in Kenya's TVET sector, thanks to a brand new joint initiatives. And we're very excited because it's the first one that we do like that in the world. So for those of you that may not know about CICAN, it is the voice of Canada's publicly supported colleges, institutes, cégeps, and polytechnics, and an international leader in education for employment with ongoing programs not only in Canada, but in over 25 countries. Our members add 190 billion to Canada's economy each year. I have to say it's Canadian dollars. I didn't make the conversions, but I'm sure you can do it way better than I can do. So 190 billion each year, and contribute to inclusive economic growth by working with industry and community partners to offer more than 10,000 programs to learners in urban, rural, remote, and northern communities. So in Kenya, CICAN already has been working for over 3 years with the Ministry of Education, the National Polytechnics, RVTTI, LIWA, as well as other partners. So, and we call this initiative here in Kenya, KEFEP. So, Kenya Educations for Employment Program. And this initiative is over a 5-year period, and it is funded by the Government of Canada. So we certainly look forward to deepening these relationships that we had for the last 3 years with these new initiatives. So today we are happy to announce that CICAN, RVTTI, and LIWA will work together to implement this brand new TVET Innovation Fund that will look at ways to improve skills and employability prospects for Kenya's youth. These joint initiatives will support new or existing innovation centers or research departments in Kenyan TVET institutions to carry out action-based and industry-oriented applied research in conjunctions with local hubs, startups, SMEs, and, of course, the private sector. So the fund is made possible thanks to a $1 million Canadian research grant from Canada's International Development Research Centre, $1 million. So the TVET Innovation Fund will focus on 3 pillars. So those of you interested in research, you can already begin to think about what is it that you will submit. First pillar, establishing innovation and applied research hubs at 4 TVET institutions across the country. And this will be done in collaborations with industry and local government. Second pillar, supporting research on gender equality in TVET to inform policy decisions and designing the designing of resources. Third pillar, encourage competitive action research that is problem-based and contributes to local economic development. The institutions represented in this room, in fact, are wonderful assets for Kenya. And you and other similar TVET institutions across Kenya, you will be key providers of research and innovations for the country, like what you are already doing. Let me, or allow me please, to talk a little bit about what's happening in Canada with respect to research. So in our country, we see technical and professional training institutions as vital sources of new knowledge and innovative thinking. They are providers of skilled personnel and credible credentials. They are contributors to innovation. They are attractors of business investment into a region. They are agents of inclusion and social justice. And they are contributors to social, economic, and cultural vitality of their community. So our work in Canada in the TVET system is guided by 2 key values: excellence and relevance. I believe that these values are also important for Kenya. And they are also important when we talk about research and when we talk about innovation. Why? Because research is very important when you talk about education and skills training. We cannot just have education alone. And this is how we can shape the unique contribution that polytechnics, colleges, and institutes can make. But what is research and innovation? I'm sure if I would ask all of you, you would probably have your own definition linked to the impact you are making in your community. And when we talk about research, as you all know, research is on a continuum. There's pure research, there's action research, and there's applied research. And guess what? We need the 3 of them. We can not only focus on one type of research, because if we do that, we break the continuum and we're missing something, we're missing opportunities. So, because of that, it means that our research and innovations must be relevant for the communities we serve. Not only relevant because we want to have a master or a PhD or a degree or a diploma, they need to serve the communities that we serve. So if the work of post-secondary institutions is to be relevant to their communities, then it is natural that we focus on the problems facing our communities and ask ourselves, how can we contribute? How can institutions contribute? And how can my students contribute? In Canada, our colleges and institutes are already making a huge economic contribution to research and innovation. But that's obvious for all of you. Much of the research we perform in Canada is commissioned by business and industry with economic productivity as a goal. We help companies come up with more efficient processes. We help them to develop prototypes. We help them to develop new products. We help them to integrate new technologies in production. Just last year, we helped 7,200 companies. Most of them were small and medium enterprise that didn't have the means to be able to produce those prototypes or those new products. So let me quickly talk about what are the impact of research and innovations on polytechnics. Of course, improve human resource capacity, enhance learning for students, enhance research partnerships between colleges and universities, or between polytechnics and universities, or with colleges. It's also to improve research infrastructure and equipment. And it is, of course, to integrate the results of that research into the curriculum. Extremely, extremely important. But what's the impact on SMEs? It's to develop new products, new prototypes. It's to have access to equipment and facilities and know-how that alone they would not have. It's to support commercializations of products and develop new markets. I will share with you that in Canada, in the college system, when we do applied research, we do not keep the IP. We do not keep the intellectual property. We find the solutions for the companies, but we leave the IP to them. Because our goal is to develop skills for our students and enrich our communities. It's not to own the IP. And by doing that, it means that we improve the outputs for the business sector and their impact. What is the impact, and that's my last point, on communities and regions? In fact, it increased the collaborations among sectors. It contributes to local and regional socio-economic development. It supports job creation. All that to say is that I'm very, very pleased to be here today. And I'm confident that by working together, we can make Kenyan institutions more innovative and more responsive to the needs of the private sector, and while improving access to education to all, including young women. Thank you. Asante sana.
Thank you very much. That was the president of SICAN, Dennis Amiot. I would like now, because of time, to call the Africa TVET Journal Chief Editor to come forward quickly so that he can be able to present the fourth edition of the African Journal of TVET to the following people. So we'll, this is the African Journal of TVET. I think we'll allow him to cut the tape quickly. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now I will ask the following people to come forward so that we can give them the books. I will ask our chief guest to come and pick the book. The African Journal of TVET, the 4th edition, published by RBTI. We'll give that to...
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I would like to ask Dr. Opora, who's the director of TVET, to also pick the 4th edition of the African Journal of TVET. I will ask the Director General of TVET Authority to pick the copy for the African Journal of TVET for his organization. I would ask the President, Dennis Amiot, to come and pick 2 copies for the SECAN group. Thank you very much. I'll ask Mr. Lima Wilson from UNIVOC headquarters in Bonn, Germany, to have his 2 copies to go to the UNIVOC headquarters in Germany. I would ask the Board of Governors Chairman to pick his copy, Dr. Kennedy Koech. Last but not least, I'll ask the media group, Standard Media, Shtakimadhi, to pick a copy for the Standard Media Group, and we thank them so much for partnering with us all through. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Really appreciate that. I would like now to take this opportunity to ask the Chairman of the Board of Governors to give a brief speech. We're running short of time. I'm told we have some 5 minutes or so. Thank you so much, Chairman.
Good afternoon, everybody. Our chief guest, the Principal Secretary, State Department in charge of TVET, Dr. Desai, our Director General of TVET, Dr. Langat, our Director of TVET in the Ministry, Dr. Opora, our guests from Canada, led by Denise Amiot, the President of SECAN, and the Vice President of SECAN, and the team from SECAN who are with us here. UNESCO UNIVOC team from Bonn, Germany, who are also leading with the iHub innovations. It is indeed my pleasure to have all of you in this institute. And, and for us to host this institute at this time is really a pleasure for us. I would like to introduce our Board of Governors before I proceed. Maybe you can just stand. And this Board of Governors, the way they are all appointed, they come with their special skills that add value to the institution. So Anne Wafula, you can raise your hand. She's a HR practitioner, so she brings that skill to the institute. Cicely is a legal person, so she brings that also. Sylvester Keegan in the business sector. A representative from the county government. So as you know, we are operating within the county government of Uasin Gishu, and sometimes we run things that require collaboration with the county government, and he's been very instrumental in linking us there. Laban, thank you very much. He's in the hotel industry, and as you know, we run programs in the hospitality industry in this institute, and our director of TVET in the county government, who also adds a lot of value to us here. I would like to thank the government through the PS for supporting the programs and projects within this institution. And I especially would like to thank the PS for being present here today since yesterday. He was also here last year, if you remember, and he was also present for 2 days continuously. We don't take it for granted. We thank you very much, sir. You know, funding of projects in this institute that you can see, we've had a lot of developments happening in this institute. We don't take it also for granted. I want to really thank the government through the PS for the funding that's been happening in this institution. Of course, if you look around, you will notice that we still need modernization of the institute. Some of the structures that are here were used by Professor Kere when he was a student in this place. We've tried to repaint them to try and make them look better than they used to be. But I think in the long term, we may need to modernize this institute because it also gives confidence to the students who come here. You know, when students are coming to a facility, they look around to see whether it's attractive. You know, young people are very interested in seeing how the environment looks. Even when they take photographs, they want to show their friends that my institute looks like this. So I will appeal to the government to continue assisting us so that we keep modernizing. This building was recently done, and it's changed the face of this place. The current project that's going on is a virtual learning center, which will also increase the outreach of training for our students and others who will be coming. We'll require more funding to equip it fully so that it can really play the role that it's supposed to do. This is our 8th conference, international conference, which RVTTI is sponsoring. It's also the 4th innovations and exhibitions contest that we are having here. And if you've seen in the innovations, they're really useful. You can see our young people are very innovative. They want to produce new things that are supposed to really help in developing this country. And my appeal also to the government is to assist in this, you know, running such conferences, to assist in the funding, and also to assist those innovators so that these innovations can be incubated and also rolled out to the industry so that they become useful. They should not just remain as innovations that we saw in RVTTI. We should also be coming across them in the industry so that the innovators can also benefit from their intellectual property. We know that the government has a state department that is in charge of post-training and skills development, maybe through the PS again. I would request that you let that state department be aware that they can play a big role in this kind of thing. Finally, as I come to the end of my talk, is to thank all of you for turning up in large numbers, and also looking forward to another conference next year as RVTTI, and to wish you safe travels as you go back home, and wishing you a great weekend. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, our chairman of the board, Dr. Koech. Allow me, our chief guest, to ask Mr. Lima from the Univoc to come forward and do the launch of the Innovation Hub for Rift Valley Technical Training Institute, and also representing other innovation hubs in the world. There are 10 innovation hubs in the world. RVTTI is the one in Africa is one. The other one is Yaba Technical College in Nigeria, while the third one is Seychelles Institute of Technology. So we are proud to be among the top. Thank you. Let's do it. Thank you very much. So we will be an innovation hub, and really want to thank Lima. Yesterday he had a lot of time with us and we discussed a lot of issues. Thank you, and you may take your seats, please. At this time, I'd like now to invite Dr. Kiblagat and Lois. Dr. Kiblagat has been the chairman of the Innovation Committee that went through the innovations that students took part in. He is currently the acting dean of technology education at University of Eldoret, and we are so proud that he has been spearheading this group. Thank you very much, and welcome, Dr. Kiblagat.
Thank you so much, Principal. our chief guest, PS Department of Vocational and Technical Training, our invited guests, and all of us in attendance, good afternoon. I will take a very short time to say what we have been doing for the last few weeks, and where we had a team of 5 judges, and I just want to request those who are around just to stand up so that we just see where you are. The judges who are around, just that is, there is Evans Kitur at the back there from industry and the informal sector, and then we had Beatrice Imo, and then we have Dr. Simon Wanami, and then we have Selina Rono. Actually, much of the work we finished yesterday, and some of them may not be around today. I want to say that in the exhibitions as of yesterday, we had a total of 24, and 6 of them came in yesterday, so we were not able to take them through the competition. 18 of them started the process of the competition, and at first there was the issue of removing few of them at the beginning who did not meet the requirements, like being patented. Some of them came in and they were not students, so 4 of them were automatically removed at the beginning. And I just wanted to report to all of us that there was teamwork from the beginning with the judges and the organizing committee, that they were able to provide information from time to time. And we focused on the innovations that looked into the SDGs, the Vision 2030, and the Big Four agenda. We are also concerned to look at the scientific quality of the procedure that the innovations took to the end. We were also very keen on the creativity of the work and the uniqueness of the innovations. We were also able to look at the intellectual property of the work, whether the work was fully patented or they had been given reservation for patent. And then also we looked at the visibility of the innovations in terms of being able to address the need and the cost effectiveness and the chances of the innovations having a success on the market, among many other things. And the judges came from the areas, that is the industry, applied sciences, electrical and electronics, ICT, food and nutrition, and agriculture. Now, when we came to the first stage of now real assessment, we had 14 innovations that had remained now for the real assessment, but in the process we realized again 2 of them had been patented by the supervisor, so we knocked them out again, and then we remained only with 12 of them. Yesterday we were expecting to have the 12 innovations, but only 8 of them turned up for the final competition, and 4 of them were not able to manage, though they looked very promising during the first stage of evaluation. And I want to just make some few closing statements and say that though the 6 of them did not meet the deadline, but we were able to allow them yesterday to exhibit what they had, so that people would see what actually they had planned. Some of them were very good, but it was unfortunate that they did not meet the deadline. What we also want to encourage institutions is that where possible, let us continue to support our students to the final stage, because we felt this was one of the challenges. And also one of the other things is that some students had a problem with communication, both in writing and also in oral. And we thought that maybe our students can be able to be assisted. And we asked also that probably also help them to build the confidence as they continue to prepare to present their work. And as we come to the end of this session, I want to say that let us all support our innovators, both as an institution and also industry, and all the other stakeholders from the beginning to the end of the process, because we'll be able to see some of the very good innovations if we do so. And at this juncture, I want to really appreciate the support that we had from this institution, and also from the team that worked closely with us. And I want to report and say that at every stage, as the judges, we were satisfied with every stage. Even up to yesterday when we met our final judgment, we were very satisfied with the results. And at this time, I want to invite Madam Lois Yator to present to us the winners.
Thank you. I think we need to give Dr. Kiplagat a better applause, please. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Ari, for the good work that you did. And now, our chief guest and all distinguished guests, it's time that we call the winners of the 4th RVTTI Innovation Award. Beginning with second runners-up, we have Dennis Murithi and Cynthia Mudeu from Thika Technical Training Institute. Dennis, please come up front to receive your award. We shall call upon Mr. Wilson Lima to give the award. Thank you very much. First runners-up, we have Kemboi Collins and Namunga Kefa from Rift Valley Technical Training Institute. We'll call upon CI Khan President to award.
If you can call him to
Thank you. And position 1. Okay. Third runners-up, the innovation is terraced multi-story garden. I think all of us saw it there. First runners-up is single-row self-propelled planter, which I think all of us saw, and some have placed their order. And now the first position goes to one Penina Kemunto from Rift Valley Technical Training Institute on termite biscuits, to be presented by the PS. Thank you, Penina. Yes, they are. Thank you. We have one final award, which is a special category. This is a category that is awarded by the principal. It is the principal's award to the best RVTI innovation. And this goes to Dennis Kipkemboi, Mary Wamboi Mongai for RVTTI Medibot. Our director, Medibot. It is an app that you can be able to consult with your doctor without necessarily visiting the hospital, and you get a prescription. Thank you so much. Allow me, chief guest, to call one of our own that has coordinated this to just applaud him for the good work. Mr. Shadrach Kimtai, to shake the PS hand for the good work that you have done. Thank you so much for the good work. And now I hand over the program to the principal.
Thank you very much. A better applause for the innovators. Very interesting. This year, the innovation is in food industry. That is very nice. I think Professor Kere knows the termite biscuits. In his language, they eat it live. Here, this one has been baked. So thank you very much. I now want to take a short time to allow Dr. Kipkirui Langat to briefly say a word or two. We're running short of time, and also we'll ask after that Dr. Mesha Kopora to come and welcome the chief guest, Dr. Kevin Desai. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Turner, Principal Secretary, State Department of Vocational and Technical Training, the team from CICAN, led by the President, and the team from UNIFOC, led by the coordinator of this HiHub project, the board and management and student of RVTTI, Chairman, Kenya National Qualification Authority, Chairman, TVET Authority, all distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to briefly say that as a way of supporting what is happening here today, and we expect to be replicated in other institutions, we are aware that the government has put a lot of efforts in investment in developing the TVET sector in the country. And we consider that one as a hardware. It's a way of putting the software that will be able to make this happen. As an authority, we will then be requiring the institution to implement the quality management system. This is to ensure that we live up to the objective of developing TVET system in this country. And as I mentioned, we will be expecting you to run through 6 indicators that we will be managing or that we will be monitoring. But the first step that we will be doing is the capacity building of the institution. This is to ensure that we have the right institutional leadership and management in governance to be able to understand the objective of the institution, come up with the strategy of the institution, implement it. And this is going to look at how you develop procedures of implementing training delivery and governance. For the first time, we'll even be requiring the institution to have their books of accounts audited to make sure that you are compliant. In the issues of fiscal facilities, relevance of facilities, quality of facilities, both infrastructure and equipment, and how you develop the integration of systems that will be able to coordinate the use of these facilities, the human resource factor, both of those who are going to be implementing the training delivery and those who are going to be in support. We are keen in having the trainers meet the competencies. We're also keen in seeing the trainers participate in continuous professional development. And we will be keen to see how many of these continuous professional development relevant to the area of specialization. Training delivery will be looked at in terms of curriculum development, the relevancy of this curriculum, development of the curriculum together with the industry, delivery of this together with the industry, and how do we trace the performance of our students after they leave our institution as a way of checking on the quality and relevance of this curriculum. If a given percentage of your students remain doing what they are trained for, then we can say your curriculum or program that you have developed is relevant. Trainee support, including the issues of career guidance. And finally, this is what support what we are doing today, research, innovation, partnership with the industry. We are looking at how many industry participation you have, applied research that you are doing, commercialization of this with the industry, greening as a way of sustainable, and finally supporting business incubation, entrepreneurship, and technopreneurship in your institution. We'll be announcing to you when this is taking off. Thank you very much, and let me invite Dr. Pora to invite the chief guest. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Our chief guest today, who is Dr. Kevin Desai, the Principal Secretary for Vocational and Technical Training, the President for CCCAN, Deputy President, Univoc, leaders, TVET Authority, Director General, the Chairman, all protocols observed. Good afternoon. Yes, I must say that I'm very happy to be in this forum, and this is a very important forum for us in the ministry. As part of the wider TVET reforms, the ministry decided that all our TVET institutions must have research and innovations in their institutions. And what we are witnessing today is one of such innovations, which is successful, and it's a good example. The reason why we are encouraging research and innovation is because research and innovation, they solve problems and challenges in the society. They provide new products, new services, or new ways of doing things, which will go in a long way in solving problems that we have in the society. And by doing so, there will be creation of employment to our youth, employment which is really a problem in this country. What we believe as a ministry is that through TVETs, we are going to transform this country by providing the right people with the right skills in the job market. Already, there are many things that we are doing in support of these innovations. First, we have already provided state-of-the-art equipment to most of our institutions, which can be used for training and can also be used for production. We have encouraged the private sector to join hands with our institutions in the production processes. The innovation that we have seen today, we would like the private sector to partner with our institutions to ensure that those innovations reach the market. And by doing so, we shall be increasing employability in our students and also resources to our institutions. We have also encouraged all our institutions to have production units. These units will be using the same innovations and the fundings that we are going to provide to ensure that we produce more for the job market. With this few remarks, I now want to invite our chief guest, Dr. Kevin Desai, to come and give his remark and also close this session. Thank you.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, indeed this is a very special day today for technical vocational training. I'd like to first congratulate all that created the Volume 4 on AfriTivET. Indeed, this is a remarkable success. But over last year, you can see the growing partnership between universities and technical vocational training institutions to promote research and innovation. And indeed, this is a great success with respect to an outcome that we very much appreciate and makes a lot of sense as has been earlier mentioned, that we are responsible for the entire continuum of research, and we need to be as collective and collaborative as possible. Indeed, as part of ensuring that we're collaborative, we see that a lot more youth are involved in research, and all stakeholders, including industry and the private sector. And this is the only way, the most efficient way, that we can promote quality and relevant research, which can make a significant impact on social, economic, and environmental transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, the relationships that we have created today, the systems that are now becoming clearer, are indeed a very special moment for technical vocational training, and you'll all agree that we are increasingly getting more support in order to achieve the very values that we are trying to make a difference on, promoting greater access to technical vocational training, providing greater capacities for equity, quality, and relevance. And this is being done, as you've noticed, through a huge cross-sectoral involvement of support, which includes, first and foremost, the success and support with respect to our budget, our increasing budget to the tune of 23 billion, which will go a long way in promoting greater enrollment, capacity development, and the ability to hire more trainers for our institutions. The aspects of our trainers with respect to increasing the number, but also ensuring that we have systems and structures to promote continuous professional development, thereby ensuring that the trainers are able to very effectively transfer skills and competencies that relate to standards and outcomes of productivity, innovation, and efficiency. The increasing enrollment. Today, I understand that we're well over 200,000 students in public TVET institutions, showing an interest and an increasing hope and optimism from our youth to participate in technical vocational training, with a view of seeing to it that they're able to find pathways to gainful and self-employment. And the many different kinds of projects that we're launching through various initiatives like the World Bank, the 5 centers of excellence in different value chains and sectors, the MasterCard program that was launched yesterday, which has a key component on technical vocational training and the development of capacity, the contributions by the German development government with respect to creating another 3 centers of excellence, and the ongoing relationship we have with CICAN to building greater capacity in our institutions, and a relationship that ensures that we're able to not only build capacity on an institutional capacity with respect to governance and quality assurance, but also the capacity of trainers to train efficiently and to be more productive and innovative in all their work. Surely, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very unique moment for TVET, and one questions the enormous potential that TVET has towards making a huge difference with respect to being a means to address high gains in employment for our youth. And I think that this is really the purpose, and this is what we need to now work towards to ensure that our institutions have the highest capacity and ability to deliver employment opportunities for our youth. It's only then will we truly make a difference with respect to all the investment that has been now put into our institutions and into our structures. And the gains are incredible with respect to the opportunities that exist by all of us participating. To date, much of the success that we've seen in technical vocational training could not have been achieved without our collective involvement. And going forward, this involvement needs to further promote action as far as leadership is concerned, by way of your involvement in promoting the necessary transformation that TVET now needs in order to fulfill its duty and its responsibility to being a structured system that promotes greater opportunities for our youth. And so your involvement in further research as well as the application of your ideas towards greater governance of our institutions, as well as building greater quality assurance models, is essential. The promotion of centers of excellence, where we look at the entire value chain of the Big Four agenda, whether it's in textiles, leather, is also essential. The promotion of skills and the entire value chain of skills, from artisan craftsmen, master craftsmen to technologists, are the foundation of this existing opportunity that exists within our context. The nexus between the micro, small, medium enterprise and the TVET sector, the special relationships that we need to develop in order to promote higher gains of productivity, innovation and efficiency in our micro, small, medium enterprise sector, but also at the same time create the necessary transition of our youth into gainful and self-employment, is an area that requires much transformation. And the very values that we're trying to achieve with respect to access, equity, quality and relevance of TVET, these are specific areas that can do more in terms of promoting greater access. We need to build a national system that accommodates 1 million young people a year. And this is why so much more innovation and transformation needs to take place within this context. Now, ladies and gentlemen, even with all this support, you can see that there's a growing ecosystem of support and a need for us to take this as a sign of encouragement and be more involved. We can see that the Big Four agenda currently has phenomenal funding. 96.6 billion will be spent on value addition to increase our manufacturing base to 15% of our GDP. 42.6 billion will be spent on enhancing food security, and 47.8 billion will be spent on universal health coverage, and 11.4 billion will be spent on the housing schemes. This is an incredible opportunity for us to link our institutions to providing outcomes of not only skills, promoting upskilling as well as assessment systems, technology transfer, incubation, enterprise creation within the scheme of this development. And we need to take advantage of this opportunity for various reasons, to promote greater sustainability of TVET institutions, to be transformative and to ensure that we're truly well-funded and very relevant to the development context of this country. And so what we must do is, within this context, there are two defining situations that are very critical. Even at today, I was astonished to see so many innovations by youth. They have such curiosity and creativity and resourcefulness. But what will propel them to commercialization are two themes. The first is that we need to increasingly train towards achieving standards. When we train to achieve standards which are measurable tolerances, then we have a direct link towards productivity, innovation, and efficiency. It's these ideas and these concepts, when the training around them is based on standards, that they are able to achieve the highest optimum of outcomes and differentiation with respect to their marketplace. And it's also, I notice that youth have an ability and a need to be multi-skilled. I saw many different kinds of projects, like a combined tractor system which provides different services for the agricultural industry and for the single farmer. But the ability to write proposals and to have management expertise as well as marketing expertise is a skill and competency in itself. And so being multi-skilled has a potential, together with the standards, to achieving greater commercialization. And I think that this is what we now need to invest in this year. And by the end of next year, we'll see a lot more innovations being applied and new enterprises being created. Ladies and gentlemen, it's for this reason we need to implement competency-based education training. Because first, it fulfills the requirement that we need to train to achieve standards which are measured tolerances with respect to an inclusive system which ensures that we gain productivity and innovation. And the second is competency-based education training is modular, and therefore students can pick up several skills, be multi-skilled, and have a greater chance of ensuring that they're able to commercialize their applications. It's for this reason I request your support, ladies and gentlemen, as faculty leaders, stakeholders in development, to play an increasingly involving role as we transform TVET to promote greater quality and relevance, and to ensure that the investment that has been put in to date by all stakeholders has a return with respect to promoting greater employment. I very much look forward to next year's event, and as you can see today, we've launched an innovation fund. This is something that we had wished for last year. And so with all this support, together with our international partnerships of UNIVOC, which promotes greater internationalization and globalization of TVET, in view of the fact that technical vocational training institutions have to be standardized throughout the world to promote greater mobility of our youth, but also our partnership with CICAN, which enhances our overall capacity and synergy to promote greater innovation, that we really have a very successful ecosystem consisting of local public and private universities, local public and private TVET institutions, and the private sector. And indeed, this is a great achievement, and let us keep working together towards ensuring that TVET stays in the very driver's line with respect to it promoting greater development in this country. Thank you very much. I now declare this conference closed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. A better clap for our peers. Now, I think it's high time we appreciated one another for a job well done. And I thank all of you for being around. And I thank each one of you for your participation, and look forward to giving you more of this time in the coming year. Now, allow me to hand over this program to Akisa Wandera, who is the anchor with the Kenya Television Network. She will be live from now again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Tarno. All right, thank you very much, Dr. Tarno. Dr. Tarno is the Director. Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Dr. Tarno, the CEO, Chief Principal of the Rift Valley Technical Training Institute. As this conference comes to a close, a lot of goodies for the innovators and students, not just here at the RVTTI, but technical institutes across the country. We have seen the launch of the Innovation Fund that's worth $1 million. Right? $1 million. It's perfect for the students. We've seen some of the best innovations. The termite biscuit innovation here taking the first place in this Innovations Award. We're giving you more details from where we have been. We've been live bringing you the events as they happen here at the Rift Valley Technical Training Institute, a 3-day event that has brought together students, innovators, trainers, presentation of research papers, and of course we've also seen the launch of the TVET journal that is the 4th volume. They're launched by the chief editor, Professor Bonventure Kere. So far so good from here. The event has just been closed by the Principal Secretary, Dr. Kevin Desai, who seems very confident about where TVET is heading, the direction that TVET institutions are taking in the country, and of course, the level of support that these institutions are getting from the government. From the team here that has been in charge of this production, thank you very much for sticking with us. My name is Akisa Wandera. I'll be handing it over to studio as we finalize everything here from the Rift Valley Technical Training Institute in Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County. Good evening.